Have you given up on setting goals altogether? Are you the kind of person that says, I'm not even going to waste my time trying? I used to set goals, and I've just proven to myself over and over and over that why even set them when I'm not even going to accomplish them? Or maybe you're the kind of person that says, yeah, I'm going to set some goals, but I'm going to set that bar so low that I know that I can achieve it. No, I'm going to hit it, so I can pat myself on the back and say, attaboy. Well, listen, it doesn't have to be that way. And today we're going to help you to learn how to be a goal-crushing Christian. We're going to give you the best life design for believers. Get ready.
That's right. So today we're going to give you 5 tips that are going to help you be a goal-crushing Christian. Tip number 1, set goals that matter to God. Set goals that matter to God.
So important.
This is so very important. A lot of people, you don't even think about this, but here's the thing. A lot of times we just think about what we want, where we want to be in a year, and we don't even consult God, who designed our life, who has already pre-planned your life, who created you. We don't even ask him, God, what should we focus on this year? And when I say goals that matter to God, you might be thinking like, okay, so you're just talking about spiritual goals. No, actually not. God cares about every area of your life.
Yeah.
Maybe you're saying to yourself, well, man, a lot of people have health goals, okay? So you ask yourself, like, I want to drop 20 pounds in the new year. God cares about that. You know why?
It's your body that he gave you.
He created
it's
that
a
body.
gift from him.
You're only going to get one. Right? He wants you to be healthy. Maybe it's your marriage. Maybe your marriage just seems like it's falling apart. Maybe you have goals around having a healthier marriage. Does God care?
Yes, he
absolutely.
cares.
Your parenting, your money, any area of your life, God cares about. But if you will sincerely ask God, like pray and ask God as you're evaluating your life, and maybe you want to write down a big old list, right? Ask God, really, what do you want me to focus on as I roll in to the new year? Choose goals that matter to God.
Proverbs 19:21, this has been my go-to for years, and that is, many are the plans of a man's heart, but it's the Lord's purpose or his high calling or his counsel that prevails.
Yep.
Here's really what that means, is that God is sovereign.
Yep.
And your life that you're living really isn't yours to live at all, but we, in surrender, we've given our lives back to him after our resurrection with Christ. Tip number 2 today, and that is that we want to set goals that are realistic and achievable. And this is a really big one.
It is big.
Now, let me give you an example. All right, so when I was younger, and maybe you can relate to this. When you were younger, you have these dreams and you have these goals. And let me just help you understand the difference. At least this is the way I define it. A dream is more something that is, in my mind, it's long term. It's something that's going to take you well over a year to accomplish. Goals might be something that are smaller objectives that you're wanting to accomplish maybe in this next year.
Right.
But when I was a kid, man, I was born to dream. I mean,
you're a dreamer, man. You still are a dreamer.
I still am a dreamer, and I've just matured into that gift of dreaming, if you will. But I remember, when I was young, probably maybe in the 5th grade, my bedroom was all decked out in space theme. All right, so my parents had these people come in the days of wallpaper, and there was a mural. There was a mural on my wall, which is actually a photograph of the Earth from the moon.
Wow. It's pretty cool, Brad.
And people always say, Brad, why are you always living with your head in the clouds? And I'm like, well, because that's my bedroom.
There you go.
It's literally in the clouds. And it was so cool. At night, I would go to sleep with this. My whole wall was a picture of the Earth from space.
Cool.
And I had planets hanging from the ceiling. And I collected space shuttles. And I had this dream of being an astronaut. I'll never forget, I had such a drive and a desire. I don't really know what it was. I can't really think of any, movies that I watched that made me. Yeah, I can. As a matter of fact, there's some great 80s flicks that involved some kids hijacking a space shuttle, and they ended up at space camp. And they ended up in space, and they were astronauts. I thought, I want to be an astronaut.
Be that way.
Until I realized that I suck at science and math. And those are two really important subjects that you have to be good at if you're going to be an astronaut, because it's all about math and science.
So being realistic, you realize that you weren't gifted in that area.
Probably not going to be an astronaut.
Probably not a career goal for your future.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. And that's a lot of times when we think about goals, we want to achieve so much. And it's easy to just write something down. Like, for instance, I want to lose 50 pounds by next month. Well, that's not realistic. Can you lose 50 pounds this year? Yes. Absolutely, hands down. Can you do it by next month? No, that's just not realistic, not healthy, okay?
That's crazy.
Maybe you say to yourself, I want to get out of debt. Okay, let's be realistic about how long that's going to take, right? It took you a while to get into debt. It's going to take you maybe even a couple years, maybe 3 years to get out of debt, okay? Same thing with any area of your life. You want to be realistic about what the goal is and how it can be accomplished. And, really for us, like, we are all about setting these big goals, but you need to be realistic about the time that it's going to take to accomplish them.
Right.
That way, you don't feel like a failure in a week or two. Like, for us, man, we're ready to write books, okay? So, like, we want to write, and that's in our heart to do. But we're not going to write a book by next week.
No.
Even though that I wish we could.
I'm
and you would want to.
I'm the type of person, I'm like, babe, let's go to Branson.
You said that last week.
And let's just rent like a cabin.
It's true.
For like 2 weeks and just
knock it out.
All day, all night, coffee, maybe a
knock
little cheesecake, and get her done.
And I said to you, that's not realistic.
Right.
So tip number 3, set goals that are specific and measurable.
This is so important.
Very, very important, okay?
Because most people don't even know how to set goals the right way.
Exactly.
You can set yourself up for failure by not even writing your goal the right way,
okay.
if it's vague.
So, specific and measurable. Let me give you an example. Maybe I say to myself, I have no energy. I am overweight. I don't feel good, okay? It affects every area of my life, from my family to my career. And so I want to get healthy this next year. And you would think to yourself, that's a great goal. Well, it is, but you need to be very specific. When you say get healthy, what do you mean?
So you're saying a lot of people would they would make that
that
their
would
goal.
Be the goal.
Get healthy.
Yep. And that's way too broad, okay? You need to make it specific. So here's what you need to do. You need to say, I want to lose 15 pounds. Put a date with it by February 15th, okay? When you do that, now I have determined it's very, very specific. I mean, maybe it's something else. Maybe it's breaking a habit. Like, right? Maybe you say, you know what? I want to quit smoking and I want to do it by this date. You set a date. Whatever that thing is, you write it down very, very specifically. Then you can actually, and we'll talk about this next, but then you can develop a plan around that. But a lot of times we're just way too broad, okay? We're way too broad. We just say, I want to get healthy or I want a better marriage. You've got to be specific and measurable.
That's right. I love what Habakkuk 2 verses 2 through 3 says. It says, write down the revelation or the vision, other versions say, and make it plain on tablets so that whoever reads it may run with it. The idea here, the lesson for all of us is it's really important anytime that we write goals that we keep it in front of us at all times. And this is huge for us. We keep goals in front of us at our office. We have goals on our phones. We have notifications on our phones. Everywhere we turn, we are continually surrounded by our goals on our refrigerator. So always in front of us. And when you paint that clear picture of things that you've committed to God, this is what I want my health to look like. This is what we want our finances to look like. This is what we want our marriage to look like. This is what I want my relationship with you to look like, my personal development. When you get very specific and measurable, you get those things written down, you get them in front of you, you make the vision plain, then it's a continual reminder, okay, this is why, this is something that I've committed to myself, it's something I've committed to God, and I'm in it to win it. So keep the vision in front of you. All right, this leads us to the next point, and that is tip number 4, which is detail the steps to accomplish the goal. Detail the steps to accomplish the goal. So what does this look like? When you make a goal, you need to break down that goal into achievable objectives. I want to share with you Luke 14:28. This was Jesus speaking. He said, For which of you desiring to build a tower does not first sit down and count the cost, whether he has enough to complete it. And I love this idea. But you and I have built a lot of buildings over the years. As church planters, we pretty much have built an entire campus from scratch. We've built a lot of buildings. And every time we move to add on or to build a new building, we begin a new project, we will always start with a vision in our mind. We begin with the end in mind. And then we will come up with some plans of some sort.
So let me help you really practically, because everybody's probably not building a building this year, okay? Some of you might be. But maybe you say to yourself, like, a spiritual goal would be, I want to read through the entire Bible this year from cover to cover.
Which, by the way, is a great goal.
That is an amazing goal. Brad and I, we've been doing that now for years, okay? So every year we read through the entire Bible every year. So you say to yourself, I want to do that. That's a great goal. So to detail out what you need to do, I would think about the steps would be like this. Maybe download the YouVersion Bible app. Choose a 1-year reading plan, because there's a lot of different options.
There's a lot to choose from. A lot of great reading plans.
Choose a 1-year Bible reading plan, and then maybe set up the notifications to go off, or set an alarm on your phone to go off to remind you to read, okay? Maybe if it's going to be in the morning, you're like, you know what? My alarm is going to get set 15 minutes early so that I have enough time to read my Bible before I go to work. Maybe you're going to do it in the evening. Wherever that is, set the alarm. So those are detailed steps. And if you will be consistent over, the next 60 days, you'll see your goal accomplished. All right? So moving on. The final tip, number 5, in being able to crush our goals in the new year is simply this. Stay motivated.
Well, that's easy to say.
Stay motivated.
Isn't that the reason why most people don't even accomplish their goals?
Yes, because we get excited about something. It is the very reason everybody runs out and buys new workout clothes. They take out a gym membership in January.
Buy a treadmill.
They buy a treadmill, and then it becomes a close-up hanger or whatever, clothes rack. You got to stay motivated. And I'll just tell you personally what I do, okay? Whatever I'm working on, whatever goals I'm trying to work on accomplishing for me, I make sure that I am listening to podcasts, reading books, reading articles, maybe YouTube videos like this. I am taking in continuous content into my brain that keep me on track. So, for instance, right now, like if you're working on paying off debt, then I would recommend that you take in like one of the Ramsey podcasts, Dave Ramsey, Ramsey Solutions. They've got so many great podcasts out there.
It educates you, but it keeps you inspired.
Yes.
It keeps you motivated to stay on track.
Same thing with our health, same thing spiritually. Like as pastors, I take in spiritual content every single day of my life, not just my Bible, not just what we're teaching, but other pastors, other leaders. We are leaders, so always working on goals on becoming better leaders. And so, we're always listening to other podcasts. So today we're going to link a few books that you could grab a hold of. I could just tell you a couple, like Carey Nieuwhof has a new book that came out last year. I just want to encourage you guys with these 5 tips as you roll into the new year. Don't go in doing the exact same thing.
With your head down.
With your head down and just thinking, I'm not setting goals, as Brad said in the beginning.
Not gonna waste my time.
Because I always set goals and I always, I don't follow through. Set 1 or 2, follow through, check those things off, be ecstatic, set some more. You will not believe what you could accomplish in this next year, in every area of your life, if you will just put these 5 tips into action.
Yeah, for sure. So we hope that you've enjoyed today's time together and today's talk. And if you have, please like this video and also subscribe to our channel. We're constantly putting out content that is designed specifically for practical Christian living. We want to help you to accomplish everything that God has intended for you. We want you to live your calling and your purpose while you're here on earth. While you're at it, hit that notification bell, ding, ding. And that way you're going to stay up to date on all of our latest videos. Also, if you like this video, we've done another one that we have basically designed around 5 habits, 5 incredible habits that every believer needs to have, and we've attached it down at the bottom. So go ahead and click on that and check out that video. So anyway, it's been just so much fun being with you guys today. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time.